Hi, Lavinia and Nadine at Equipoise Enlightened Exercise. And we're here today to talk a little bit about stretching the pectoralis major and the pectoralis minor. I want to show on Nadine so that you can visualize when you're doing these two stretches what you're doing. Now, pectoralis major, or pecs, as you may have heard it called, it attaches at the breastbone, along the collarbone, and into the actual arm bone. So you can see that anything that you do that then takes your arm out to the side and behind you, go ahead and show them. Anything that does this is going to distract or stretch the all of that pectoralis muscle. And that muscle is big. It actually comes down all along the breast. Now, pec minor is much trickier to stretch because it doesn't attach to the arm at all. The pectoralis minor is at the second and third ribs, and it comes up under the collarbone, which I can't show you, but it attaches to the top of the shoulder. So in order to stretch pec minor, we have to literally take the shoulder blade and rotate it up and back away from the rib cage. And the reason that it's important to stretch that muscle is because if that muscle is tight, it will really kind of permanently rotate those shoulders forward. So we're going to show you today two stretches, one for pec major, one for pec minor, that you can do on a mat on the floor. And as always, check with your physician before doing any of these stretches. Now, I am having Nadine put her hands behind her with her fingers pointing back, facing away from her feet, and her shoulders rolling back. And she's actually, the closer together your hands are, the bigger the stretch. And she's going to extend her sternum up to the sky. And you can see that that would stretch this muscle that goes from the top of her chest to her arm bone on the inside here. Right? And you're getting a nice little pec stretch.
Definitely.
And it's also giving her some good back extension there. Now, for pec minor, the hands have to go the opposite direction. They're actually going to separate more, and she's going to bend the elbows and literally slouch, all right, right between there. Now, you can see that that lifts up the scapula off of the rib cage, and that rib cage is actually sinking away from the shoulder blade, and she's probably getting a nice stretch there, and maybe even she might be feeling a bit of a stretch in her upper traps.
Upper traps?
Yep.
Down my arm too.
And down her arm too. Okay, so go back to pec major stretching. Roll the shoulders back and arch the upper back. Good, and slide those scaps down. That's beautiful. And then back to pec minor, fingers pointing forward, actually separating the hands a little more, and slouching. You see, because slouching per se is not bad unless you're stuck there, all right? Our bodies are capable, good, relax, of an infinite number of expressions. And what I don't want you to have this idea that it's bad to do this. It's whether it's appropriate or not for what you're trying to accomplish. If you were to walk around like this all the time, that would not be functional. But neither can you walk around like this all the time. We want to play with the full expression of our human body. So play with these stretches, and I'm going to grab my little remote here, and we wish you well, and as always, check with a physician before doing anything.